What's up, YouTube? This is Mr. Vib Nathaniel 113 here again today, bringing you yet another super spectacular fudge-coated super mega video. This time of me doing a video of an unboxing that I never actually thought I'd ever be able to do, particularly just because I never actually thought I'd be able to obtain the toy in the first place. That, of course, as you can see here, and based on the title of the video, the Digimon Digivice D-Tector from Digimon Season 4. Now, when I saw this thing online, at least this particular condition for this item, I absolutely knew I had to jump on this. For those that may not know, at least for the people that don't watch my videos, for the ones that do watch my videos, I'm sure you guys would know. I'm a massive Digimon fan, and I have been a massive Digimon fan ever since I was a little child. Not only was Digimon essentially my introduction into anime itself, practically. I know Pokemon was like the first anime I ever actually watched, but this is like the first time I ever actually paid attention like to the actual anime and cared about it. But I've always just really enjoyed the storytelling that Digimon had to offer as opposed to like many of the other animes. Sure, it may necessarily be filled with tropes and friendship and lovey-dovey stuff and mixed in with exaggerated drama, among other things that people may or may not like about it. But I've always just enjoyed the storytelling and how they're able to mix between the bounds of fantasy and reality and blend those in such a way to the point where it's like anything that we create we can give life to, and it can be mixed of either or, good or bad, and that world that we create doesn't have to be entirely evil, but there are evil aspects to it that we can create that can destroy the good aspects, and we need to be able to bound together and blend that so that way we can help kind of purify it a bit and balance between the two. And that's one of the things that I've always really admired about Digimon, is that type of storytelling. On top of just creating such wonderful characters and a really nice relationship between creature and human. And that's always been something that I've admired about the series in general. Now, Season 4 and above may have not had that same relationship status, as I'm sure people may say, because I know a lot of people don't like Season 4 plus. But I particularly didn't really think there was anything wrong with a lot of the Digimon seasons. Call it fanboyness or bias or whatever have you, that's fine. But for the most part, I thought that there was at least a little bit good about each season. I don't think Season 4 was particularly the best in comparison to the others. In fact, it's one of the lower ones in my opinion. But it's still really good. Now, what does this have to do in particular with the toy? Why am I putting all this in an unboxing video? Well, there's really no reason to it. I just wanted to give a little bit of an introduction to the toy to kind of tie in with my relationship with this, to kind of make it feel a little bit more sentimental. So the toy itself, actually, I didn't start collecting toys for Digimon up until Season 3, because Season 3 was really the first time when I actually started really getting into the series. Not just because that's arguably the best in terms of writing and storytelling, but that's just because by that point I was like 6 or 7 years old, so I could invest myself a little bit more in the stories, a little bit more than when I was, obviously not able to, being the age of like 3 or 4. So, but the toys were one of the biggest aspects to Digimon that I absolutely loved, and Season 3 had a lot of really good toys. I just recently acquired the Digimon Season 3 Digivice, the Ducato version, which is the red version. But I just recently acquired this as well, and this is only a slew of various toys that I still need to get back from when I was a kid. So, what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into the unboxing part of this, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of reveal some of the contents inside, and maybe you guys can share some of that nostalgic memories with me, for anybody that may have happened to have this when they were a kid as well. So, let's jump right into the video, my fine fellows.
Alrighty, and here
whatever.
we are with the actual toy itself, the Season 4 D-Tector Digivice. Obviously, of course, also known as the D-Scanner in Japan, for reasons that we'll go over as I inspect the toy. Now, the actual packaging does bring back a lot of familiarity. As you can see, it has that redesigned logo from Season 4 that was used on all the merchandising, including, but obviously not limited to, my favorite game that came out during this time for the Digimon series, Digimon Rumble Arena 2. Now, I must say, guys, going back to the whole nostalgia thing, too, I still remember when Digimon Season 4 came out, and I went over to Toys R Us when I heard all the advertisements and stuff for the toys, and I saw this, and I absolutely had to get it. I also ended up getting one of the transforming figures too, but that's besides the point. This is definitely really cool. So as you can see, it shows the actual D-Tector right here with its nice grip kind of design, grip, gun hand grip right here with the more oval-esque kind of scanner design. As you can see, you have a bunch of cards here that are displayed around it. This actually does not have any kind of functionality really with any of the cards. It kind of does, but again, that's just something that I'm going to go over when I actually get the toy open. Digivice Digicodes technology, what that essentially means is much like how Yu-Gi-Oh cards can be inputted on like games and stuff, the cards, you're able to take the codes on those and you're able to put them in this thing in order to receive more Digimon. See back for more details. The only handheld game that puts you in control of the digital world. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with that statement, because what happened to the original Digivice, or the D-Power, or D3, or even the D-Terminal? Obviously, I know I get that's a slogan, but still. D-Tector, and then shows a group shot of all the characters. You got Takuya, Koji, JP, Zoe, Tommy. I'm sorry, I had to relect the names there for a second. Digimon, look for these special marked D-Tector cards with the Digit codes. Rolls right off the tongue. As you can see, you got Guilmon, Gabumon, and Agumon right there. And if we get to the back, the next level of Digibattle is here. Connect to a friend's D-Tector to battle and trade. Obviously going with the whole like connectivity aspect. Choose from your favorite Season 4 Digidestin to travel with. Like I said, that's the other cool thing about this, is that just like the D-Power Digivice, you could select between various Digimon regardless of what Digivice you had, and you could use them to battle with. So if you had this Digivice, for example, you could select Kazumon if you really wanted to, or you could be with Kumamon. You know, there's really no limits. It doesn't matter. And I think you can actually go with the Beast forms as well, but I can't remember, so don't quote me on that. Enter Digit codes to collect up to 64 Digimon. And then right here, as I showed you before, there's an example of the card, and then it tells you that you can pretty much just use the code with the D-Tector. On the bottom, we have Bandai ages 4 and up, made in China with some more dribble. And then here's the colors that you can collect. Now, here's the interesting thing about these colors. This particular Digivice, JP's Digivice, the blue and yellow version, that was actually a exclusive thing to the American audience. That was not originally a color that you could get in the Japanese version. I'm not sure if you could get that later, but I know for a fact that in the original Japanese toy line, that was not available. You could only get these two. And then, obviously, above you have Season 4, Digimon Digital Monsters, D-Tector, and again, another group shot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and bust out Mr. Sharpie. And we're going to go ahead and slit this here to get that open. And now we're going to go ahead and open it delicately, I hope, because I don't want to damage the packaging. And I just did. Fantastic. Damn it, now the value is significantly decreased. Probably not. Not that I would ever sell this anyway. And voila, there you go. Well, the unboxing video is done. Bye, folks. Nah, I kid. But no, seriously, like, this has to probably be the best unboxing video that you guys have ever seen, because that's literally it. Now, it comes with a card, as I'll show you here. I don't want to get it out because I don't want to bend it. Oh, that was easy. There we go. As you can see here, it is a card of Metal Garurumon, and if I were to enter that code into the toy, I would be able to use that in-game. Now, what's weird is that you can use these to battle, because every Digimon card game had some kind of functionality with it. All of them. And I had a bunch of these cards, because these are my favorite cards to collect, just because I really like the artwork. But I could never figure out how to play the game. So me and my friends would just play it kind of like how they played the card game on Season 3, and kind of leave it at that. Digimon D-Tector card game. Oh man, I really need to buy like card packs of this online. Interesting fact. So around like 2008, 2009, Target had like a big clearance section of these toys down by where, or these cards down by where I live. And so that's actually how I was able to get a bunch of the packs for like $1 each. It was really cool. I actually missed those. And, oh yeah, I forgot they had the manual on the side. So let's bust that out real quick. I love how everything is just taped on. That's how you know you're getting quality. How do I get this open? Oh, wow. I thought you could just, like, pull this out, but I guess you can't. No, you can't. Oh, time to get Mr. Sharpie. And now I got it open. Alright, so here's our tiny-ass little black and white manual. D-Tector instructions. And this might answer some questions that I had about the actual toy as well. Because I don't actually... I'm not big into, like, V-Pets, which is essentially what that toy is. So I can't really, like, explain the difference in terms of, like, what makes this one significant in comparison to, like, the other ones. I'm not that big into them. I just usually collect these because they have them in the show, and I really love the toys. Oh my, look at that big-ass pamphlet. Alright, so... Battle commands, press A, scroll through battles on screen, press B to select. Sensor. So it's like a VPEG game that kind of plays like a pseudo RPG kind of. Obviously, I'm not going to go over the entire instruction manual because I don't want to waste time more than I already have. And now we have the meat of this entire thing. Oh, shit. That came out really easy, more so than I actually thought it would. So yeah, here is the D-Tector toy. My god, this thing is significantly smaller than I remember it. Definitely better in terms of size than the D-Power, but still. The toy actually isn't bad, design-wise. Like I said, it reminds me more of like those, you guys remember those scanner toys that were like really big in like the early 2000s? They had like, they came in color schemes between like green and blue. They had like big, like really wicked like monsters on them, and like they had they were part of the whole barcode aspect. I'm assuming that that's what this is based on. Well, no, I know that's what this is based on because of the whole scanner aspect in Japan. So yeah, it's got a nice mesh between red and black. It's got this nice grippy thing here to hold in your hands, nice and smug-like, or snug-like. Obviously the top, you got your scanner thing here with a reader right here. You got the nice hexy kind of design going on here with the spikes off to the side. It makes it look really cool and slick. And obviously you got like a little keychain hole here so that way you can wear this around your waist if you really wanted to. So overall, it's not that bad. It looks really nice. You have about 4 buttons here. You got one that you can press on the side, which I'm assuming is the cancel button. You have the 2 or 3 buttons right here. One of these, if I remember correctly, no, 2 of these are meant for scrolling, and then you have the 1 button here, which is like confirm, I think, and then you have this, which is backspace. What I think is actually neat about this toy is that in the original Japanese version, you had just 3 buttons here, and then you had this, you know, like this toy, but it had a green mini button right here, which was actually accurate to the show, because in the show, there wasn't another silver button like this. It was a green button. So yeah, we can go ahead and get this turned on here. I might have to do a jump cut because, as you can see, it needs batteries. It's not like the D-Power, which I can just kind of turn on. So we're going to do a jump cut here. Okay, now I have batteries in it, so now I can actually proceed to play the damn thing. And as you can see, it shows up a little sprite right here. And this is the part where I'm going to assume I can actually select my character. As you can see right now, you have Takuya. We're going to go ahead and... Well, I was going to say we can go ahead and shuffle through them, but I guess I hit the confirm button when I thought that both of these could move around. Because that's how I saw many various videos and shit do it. This is the scroll button to scroll through the characters. This is confirm. This is declined, so we're gonna go with Takuya anyway, because I do prefer Takuya overall, and this is his Digivice, so it makes the most sense. What should my name be? There we go. There we go. My name will be Dad. And obviously we have the Agunimon spirit here. Don't you just love that jingle? Seriously, like, I'm so used to seeing, like, little sound chips and stuff like that on, like, cheap little LCD handhelds. I'm not used to seeing them, like, on toys like this anymore. That's pretty cool, though, regardless. My D-Tector is vibrating. D-Tector. More like dictionary detector. Alright. So, distance is good. Steps is 0. Yeah, that's another thing about this toy. It's got like a pedometer thing built into it, so the further you walk, I think the more your character tends to like progress and stuff. Basically just shows you all your stats. Spirit power, I'm assuming that's my power. D-Deck, I have Wormmon. Yeah, I just have Wormmon right now. So, we can go ahead and scroll through the various things that I have. Status, spirits, camp, connect, map. That's cool. I've always wanted to take my Digimon to fucking concentration camp. Alright, Digi database. I'm assuming that basically is just going to be like a Pokédex that'll tell you like all the Digimon and stuff that you collected. Yeah, see? Basically just shows you all the stuff that you collected. So far all we have is Wormmon, Champion, Ultimate, Mega, Enemy. Yeah, I don't really... So there's nothing in this. So basically every time you collect a Digimon, it'll appear in your database. And I'm also going to assume that's what this is for too, so you can add more Digimon to your database that way. Digididits. So this is where I'm going to be able to input codes. So we're going to go ahead and try that. So we have a, you know, the Weregurumon card. So we're going to go ahead and try to input that. P A T4. This is such a weird process. Oh no, we got a Pokemon, I mean a Digimans. Oh cool, we got ourselves a Garurumon mesh, Garugamesh. Yay, we're jumping for joy, because we just caught ourselves a fucking Garugameshmon. Practice, Digi-Searcher. Is this like a TV connectivity function? I probably really should have read the manual, but nobody got time for that shit. Digi database. And if we flip back again, we go to map, status, spirits, camp, connect. And connect is basically where you can just connect this up to another thing. So we're going to go to spirits. We have just the spirit of fire so far. 432, Agunimon. Level 1, endurance 65, 50, 57, level 1. So how do you battle? That's what I'm wondering. Actually, they said something about how to battle before. Okay, so it would appear that that's basically about it in terms of the functionality of the toy. Unfortunately, I would love to be able to actually show off battles and stuff, but you can't actually battle on this unless you actually, like, walk around and shit, because it's a pedometer. That's the only way you can actually encounter Digimon, so unfortunately I have no way of actually showing, you know, the battles unless I want to go outside and walk around for a bit. And yeah, screw that, because it's winter outside, it's cold, I don't want to do that. So, what's my overall verdict on the toy so far? Well, I think it's really cool. If you want to be able to use this as like a cosplay item, I'd say it's perfect. It's not the best representation of the show, obviously, because there's some minor inaccuracies about the toy in comparison. But it's definitely, for the most part, accurate. Now, in terms of differences between this and the other versions of the toys, now I can actually get to that that I was talking about earlier. First off, the version of the toy that I have here is known as version 1.0. In America, there was just this one, the other two, and then you had a limited edition version of Koichi's Digivice, which was the black and gray version, which I can show you right here. And that had that was version 2.0, I believe. And the only difference between 2.0 variants of this and the earlier versions or whatever is literally just the Digidigits. So every version would add new Digimon that you could input and use for battle, and that's basically it. So every version afterwards just gave you that, and maybe occasionally a new minigame or two. So, but, however, only versions 1 and 2 came out in America, and only versions 1 and 2, I think, came out in Japan. Every later initial version of the toy that came out was a Asia exclusive. So version 3.0 and version 4.0 were only available in various places of Asia, such as Malaysia. So those were basically where you could get, I think, Burning Greymon and Magna Garurumon, as well as version 4, which gave you Susanowamon. And that's the only way you could essentially get them on the toy. Now, for the most part, the library, from what I looked up, is pretty stretched out from seasons 1 through 4 and gives you a wide variety of Digimon that you can use from the get-go anyway. So it's not like it's that big of a deal. And even though this is version 1.0, it still gives you a significant amount of Digimon from seasons leading up to this. Or from the beginning of the season to mid-season. So that's pretty neat. Aside from that, the American version of the toy, anyway, usually tends to be mixed in terms of price. I see them vary between like 30 and 40 out of the box. And to get them new, like I just showed you, is very, very rare. I think I got really lucky when I found this because this is literally like mint condition. And I paid only like, I just want to say like $70 for this. Which, by the way, is actually a pretty big deal because usually when I see these, they're not mint and they usually go for like $250, $260. So I'm very thankful for being able to find this in the condition that it was in. Japanese versions of the toy usually go for a little less if you want to get them sealed. They're usually about $100 to $110, and that's on average. Occasionally you'll be able to find them for cheaper, but that's basically like the stepping ground of the price of them. If you want to get the toy by itself, again, it's usually like $25, $40. Now, versions 3.0 and 4.0 are more common, and those are the versions you can usually get for less, standing averagely about $50 to $60, which is still a lot because, again, you got to remember these are out of production. You can't buy these anymore. So that's pretty cool. And then there's another thing you also have to consider, too. Going back to what I said earlier about the whole difference between the D-Scanner and the D-Tector, is that D-Scanner, just like in the show, was a barcode scanner. Because around the early 2000s, barcode scanners were literally like a big deal for kids because it invoked interactivity and invoked adventure. You could go up to your store and just randomly scan shit, and you'd be able to unlock things that you could use in the game. It was a really nifty thing. I remember a lot of my friends had like the scanner toys that I was telling you about earlier, Barcode Battler, stuff like that. And I'm assuming that's where the inspiration for the toy came from. Now, when the toy came over in America, I want to assume the reason that they changed it, again, I don't know this, but I want to assume that the reason that they changed it was simply because they didn't want kids going absolutely batshit insane just to actually get items and characters for the Digivice, because the scannability was insane. To give you an idea, just to get like medic apps and stuff for the toy, you had to literally scan barcodes to get medical items for your characters. That's insane. So not only did you need to do that to get Digimon, but you needed to do that to actually do medical stuff too. So that could become a pain in the ass. This definitely makes it more simple, but it also makes it less interesting because now you lost a big aspect of what made the toy interesting in the show. But it did unlike the other toy, which is the D-Power, give it more expandability with the cards, which definitely made you want to buy more cards. But again, nowadays, or even back then, it didn't really make a big deal because you could just look up the codes online and then just insert them in your toy. So, I mean, it's whatever. Either way, though, I think the toy is cool. I'm very satisfied with my purchase, and I'm really happy to officially now own a Season 4 Digivice, standing next to my Season 3 Digivice. Thank you all for watching the video. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and this has been Mr. Vim the Faniel 113 here again today, bringing you yet another spectacular fudge-coated super mega video. You all have a good day now. Take care, gang.